Welcome back to the Lily Grace Lifestyle Vlog and Podcast. Today I have Miss Michelle Rothman on the show.
Hi.
And we are sitting in her gorgeous garden that she created. You are a designer and this is like your passion project.
It is. It's my therapy.
Yes, I love it. So the first question that I start out with, this format is going to be fun because we're vlogging since it's such a visual atmosphere that we have to go through today through the garden. But what defines your lifestyle, would you say?
I think my lifestyle evolves, so it's not any one thing. I think I like things to be stylish, but kind of simple and look like I didn't put a lot of work in it. It's kind of effortless. And I like it to be usable. I don't like things that are so fussy that you can't touch it. And I think my lifestyle is just to create environments that are welcoming and relaxing, and you want to just be.
Yes, I love that. And if you're hearing snorting, this is why. In the corner. But I'm so excited to go on a tour today. We're going to take people throughout your luscious garden. It's been raining and humid, so everything's in full bloom. It's early July, which is the perfect timing. And thank you so much for the cute picnic. So we are recording on a Sunday.
We are.
Which is a lovely day.
It is. It's my favorite day.
Why?
Favorite day of the week? I love Sunday. I've always loved Sunday since I was a kid. And all my friends know, do not disturb me on Sundays because I leave back and disturb me. Well, one reason I like Sunday, I think, when I was a kid, my mom would make Sunday special. All the housework was done, all the cleaning was done. Dinner was made by noon. Dinner was done, and in the evening we'd go for a ride. We just go in the car and we just drive around, and we just drive around and see things. Sometimes we'd go for ice cream, but Sunday was just always such a chill day, and so. It's always been my favorite day of the week. All my friends, my family know that it's my sacred day. So it makes me happy that day. But I know Saturday I feel like I get stuff done.
Yeah.
And Sunday is just really just a chill day. I never make plans. I rarely make plans. So you're very lucky. Although we made plans months ago. I rarely make plans on Sundays because I never know what direction I want to go on Sunday. I just kind of go with the flow on Sunday.
I love it.
Thank you.
That is special. I feel like every day should be like Sunday. That's what it feels like when you go to Europe.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Maybe that's why I like
summer.
Europe so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Into this green, lush oasis, And when I had my landscaper come, and I told him that to not cut this section because I wanted to kind of create an arch, he kind of chuckled. And I'm like, are you laughing at my ideas? He said, no. Anyway, so he did it for me. And so I want to do this when you walk through here, and it's like stepping into another world.
Yes. It's like a secret garden.
Yes. I love the sound of gravel. So instead of having a normal walkway here, we thought, why don't we just make it gravel and just make it, create this wonderful kind of a path. And I also think we don't need grass. So every year this garden gets bigger and bigger, but I think I finally maxed out on the size. So originally this was all grass with a flagpole. What I like about it being here is that I could be in the garden here and no one knows I'm here. It's like my little secret area. By the time the end of spring, summer comes, this hedge will have been another 2 feet tall. I actually just cut it down.
Wow.
So it gets pretty tall in here.
Stunning.
Thank you. So over here is my peony area. I love peonies, but they need a lot of room. And so I created an area just mostly for peonies. And then here is kind of like this kind of wildflower area here with the Queen Anne's lace. And I also do like kind of a little order. So I love the idea of having these little boxwoods that kind of create, the enclosure around the craziness in the middle.
Yeah.
So you have some structure, and then you have kind of let nature do its own thing in the middle here.
I love all the different heights and colors and layers to it.
Yeah, especially layering. I learned it from a friend of mine who's a big gardener, Janine Campbell.
Yes.
And Janine does things in layers, so she has lots of layers. And So I love going to other people's garden and getting ideas. I have a few things I'll say green all year long, and it creates that backdrop
Totally.
of green things.
Stunning.
I also like some things that are low maintenance, like the Pachysandra. You just put them down, one and done. They just spread out. Originally, I think they were about this big when I put them in.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can see.
And this is the front of the house.
Front.
I love the black and white. The black trim
Yeah,
is
the only thing we
beautiful.
changed in the front of the house is the door. Oh no, my God, I forgot. There used to be an awning. I forgot. There used to be a blue awning that came all the way out here, and it said Kenny's Funeral Home on the side of it. And I had my son tear that down. I forgot about that. And then the door here was kind of a commercial door. So we had to get rid of it. It was like a full glass commercial door. So we got rid of that. And I found this door at a second-hand store called Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, yes.
And so I found it, and I couldn't decide on the color, so I painted it probably had like 6 different colors.
Really?
Before I finally decided. So even designers,
This is a good color.
even designers don't always get it right the first 5 times.
Yes. Good
So-
color to end up on, though.
And then over here, again, just continuation. We didn't have any trees in the yard, so all the trees you see in the yard are ones that we planted. The maple tree I planted for my husband because he insisted on maple, so we did those. I love cherry blossoms, and so this one is a weeping cherry, which eventually will be nice and big. I have some duds in my yard. I'll show the dud. Okay. Drives me crazy, this one. This is a dogwood tree. And there's an estate in Milton, this woman who, all she was dogwoods. And every year they have like a festival. You can go and walk the yard, walk the garden, and you can buy plants. So I bought this dogwood. It was about this tall when I bought it. I've had it now for 5 years. It's never bloomed.
Oh, no.
Not once. It drives me crazy. And I can't dig it out because it's, kind of established.
Huge, yeah.
And so it's here. So anyway, this area over here is called my cutting garden.
Oh, why? Because
Well-
you have to cut it?
Well, because I love looking at flowers. You can see I love to just look at them.
Yeah.
And it kind of breaks my heart to have to cut them. I want them inside, but I don't want to ruin my garden. So anything over here, I cut.
Ah.
So I put extra seeds in here and extra flowers in here, and this is what I cut and bring inside.
Okay. Makes sense.
Also, I have a benefit here of my neighbor over here grows raspberries.
Ah.
So I basically told him, whatever I can reach, I'm going to eat. And so he and I have that agreement that I let his raspberry go wild, and I get to eat whatever I can reach.
I love that rule.
So it's a little treat when I'm in the garden. Sometimes I get tired and hungry. And I'll come over here and I'll just start eating his raspberries. It's
That's
wonderful.
amazing. Good neighbor perk.
Yeah. I have a couple of roses. I don't really care for roses that much.
They were blooming last time I was here.
Roses are great, but they're a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
And they're really fussy. And someone gave me, I think it was Janine actually, gave me a white climbing rose.
Yes.
And it looked so pretty. And that's my kitchen window, so I would have it kind of grow around the window. So I thought, these are balanced here. So I bought another one. And I'm like,
Nice.
yes, I get another one. And I put it in, and then spring comes, it's pink.
It's pink.
It's not white, it's pink. And I'm so mad. And the thorns on these things are vicious. Look at the size of these thorns.
That's dangerous.
So that's I'm not digging this.
You don't want to mess with that.
So what I did was I created, again, this is a picture window inside to our dining room. And what I didn't want to do a traditional kind of trellis. I hate those.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I hung wires.
Oh, I see that.
And so then I kind of let the rose go
Smart.
around the wire. So it's almost like an invisible trellis.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah. And when you're inside in the spring, when this is blooming inside, I think I have a video showing how this looked inside. It is gorgeous because you have this beautiful view. Yes, it's pink roses from inside, but it looks gorgeous.
I love that.
So I somewhat forgive the nursery who sold me a pink when it's supposed to be white.
Yes.
Hi. We can continue the tour. Come on in to the back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse the puppies. They have no manners. Hi, baby. So, now now back in the backyard. So one of the things I wanted to create is again, I'm a city girl, so I'm obsessed with like security.
I don't
You
blame
grew up in
you.
the city, okay? You're not. I'm pretty street smart, and so what I wanted a fence that I can see someone coming and going.
Yes.
But I wanted to have privacy. I didn't want to be completely closed off, and so we put a fence with these, wonderful vertical, horizontal posts all the way along. So on this side, you can see completely through to my neighbor. And this fence was existing, so we left it. But one little trick about the fence I love, come I'll show you, is that so if you step down, the fence kind of line up against each other.
Yep.
So it gives you some privacy, allows you to see in without actually completely having you exposed.
I love that.
You can probably see better in the front.
It's beautiful too. And
it's
it
pretty.
looks kind of Japanese.
It does. The funny thing is, we did consult with a landscaper who was Japanese.
Oh, cool.
And I showed her my inspiration, which was another gardener in Marblehead.
Oh.
He is married to one of my coworkers. His
Oh.
name is Tom Salzman. And he's married to Brooke Trivers. And he's a great kind of Japanese-inspired gardener as well. So maybe a combination of those two.
Totally.
But if you come to the front here, you can see what I'm talking about. So when I pull up in the driveway here,
Yep.
if you bend down, everything kind of gets distorted.
Yeah.
So it gives you a sense of privacy.
Really cool.
But you're still able to see if someone's in my backyard.
I love it.
Really easily.
It's such a pretty view.
Thank you.
And I love this step down deck.
Yeah, so
And
the
the
deck
path.
is a COVID deck.
Yeah.
COVID happened, and I'm like, I need to get outside. We need to sit. So my husband and I actually built this by hand ourselves.
It's crazy.
It was
so
insane.
good.
And a little secret, remember all those rocks I told you we had?
Yep.
They were all under here. So every time we found rocks, we would throw them in here. So under here is a ton of rocks, lots and lots of rocks. And then this tree, I did let my husband have something. He gets to, so this tree is his tree. I bought it especially for him. It's a birch tree, and he designed it so it goes around the deck.
Yeah,
so it's
I
kind of
love it.
enclosed in the deck. And when we bought it, I actually got it from Home Depot in my little mini. So it was about this big. This was this height in 2020. Look at the size of it now.
That's insane.
I had no idea it was going to go this big.
It grows really fast.
Really fast.
It's beautiful.
It's incredible. And in the fall, when the leaves change, and the
So
light
nice.
comes through, it's so beautiful. This is also one of my earlier trees.
What is that one?
That's a magnolia.
Oh, it's stunning. It's huge.
It's also huge. I have this problem where I put things a lot closer than I'm supposed to. So people will say, maybe you'll read about the tree and they say, oh, make sure it's 10 feet away from something. I'm like, 10 feet? No, 2 feet. And so I planted this again. It was a little cute tree.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, holy shit, this is really big.
It
And
loves
it's really
it
getting
here.
But what was wonderful is like last year, this tree's been in here for a few years now, but last year it bloomed for the first time. And
Wow.
I was tickled pink. I was like calling all my garden girlfriends.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's blooming. And so also because we have puppies, I'm also I mentioned before my style is I try to create spaces that you can just kind of relax in.
Yeah.
And the puppies were destroying the grass. So you would get like burn marks from the puppies. And so what I did was I said, okay, I added the Pachysandra, and then this is the grass area. So it's a little bit of grass without being too much grass.
Oh,
you know?
totally.
And so they like to go roll around, and if they mess it up, it's okay.
Yes.
You know? And then I edged it with some creeping Jenny, which is one of my favorite plants. I'd actually gotten a little piece of it from a friend's house in Brooklyn, New York. It was
Oh,
like
wow.
this big when I got it.
Wow.
And since then, I've planted it everywhere.
everywhere.
And it has spread. I've given it away to friends.
Beautiful.
And it makes it, I love the way, by the end of summer, see how we have this like beautiful little patch of it here?
Yeah, it's so lush.
So by the end of summer, all of this
Green.
will come and you'll see it just becomes absolutely stunning.
I love
the
that.
color, again, you have this texture of the fern you know, the softness of the fern against this beautiful yellow.
Oh, it's stunning. I love it.
So again, I love layers. Like layers.
Yes.
It's almost like what's behind door number 1.
Yeah.
You know, what's behind there. This, you know, the whole idea of just like all this beautiful, lush kind of combination of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I do think my inspiration was Tom and Janine.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
That's amazing.
And go ahead.
And what is one word that comes to mind when you think about your garden and when you're in your garden?
Peace.
I
feel at peace here.
That's a good word.
I feel
it too.
You know, just chilled, relaxed. You know, it's, and you know, I kind of joke around that this is kind of also my therapy. You know, the garden.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's moments where I'm just like, and I go outside and I start picking weeds and I move things around and I, you know, and I feel better.
Yeah. It's amazing what nature can do.
It really is. You know?
Especially when you're in the city too. It's really nice to have this secret oasis getaway.
It really is. It's really funny when like someone would pull up and you hear the music blasting, you know? And I'm just kind of like tucked away back here, you know.
It's so fun.
Yeah. My husband and I also built a shed.
Yep.
Because we had to store everything. And so I have pictures of me I did the roof.
Wow.
I put all those tiles in myself.
Crazy.
It was insane. I think my neighbors think we're all crazy. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the wisteria. Let's go back to the wisteria.
Okay.
So, I was in Martha's Vineyard many years ago. And in the main town of Martha's Vineyard, there's this little kind of cafe and a little garden space behind the cafe. It's like a park, nothing too special. But in that space, there's a little seating area. It probably sits like 2. And around it was a wisteria. And I thought, uh-oh.
Pull down.
I'm sorry, Phoebe. There you go. Phoebe wants a cool. There you go. Anyway, so around there was this wisteria, and I always remembered just how at peace you felt there. And it was just the coolest thing, really simple. And so we wanted some shade back here because it doesn't seem too sunny now, but when the sun comes around, it is blasting back here. It gets really, really hot. And so I bought every umbrella you could possibly imagine, and I tried them all out, and I hated every single one of them.
Yeah.
I would set them up and walk right back to the car, put it in the car, and take it back.
Yeah.
And so then we thought, how do we create that kind of wisteria look? So my husband and I drew up this kind of trellis.
Yep.
But we didn't want a wood trellis. We need something that's going to sustain this and last over time. And there's a company north of Andover, and they just sell metal. And we gave them a sketch, and they will cut everything down that you needed. And so we had them cut this out for us. In the driveway, I cleaned it, I primed it, I spray painted it, many coats. We kind of create this natural, beautiful shade area that incorporates and supports the wisteria, and it's a perfect place to take a nap.
Yes.
I love laying down here and taking a nap.
It's so relaxing.
Yes.
And the perfect amount of shade.
It's a perfect amount of shade, especially when you get a little breeze. It's really nice. The leaves keep everything cool back here. And in the height of summer, when that sun gets out, it is like perfect place to come and hide.
Yes, agreed. It's the perfect day to record it because it's a little overcast for us, which is nice, but it's just such a magical space, and I so appreciate you sharing it with me. And I love the transformation, even from when I came in the spring till now. It's just like a whole nother world back here.
Yeah.
And you always have cute little parties and love to entertain. And it's a great space for your fam.
It's but we have limited amount of people we could entertain in the back because the way we designed this. We designed it so it fits perfectly into the trellis. And then, with the puppy pool and dogs, it's perfect, like a little intimate gathering that we have.
I love it.
We're not having like any,
ragers
here. No, not at my age.
I don't blame you. Even at my age, I'm like, I'm good. I like little tea parties like this. It's so fun. So beautiful.
And it was a lot of little details. I look around and I think, wow, there's a lot of work we did.
And I love this little setup here.
Well, over here was supposed to be our vegetable garden.
Oh.
The best laid plan. So originally this was
funny.
intended to be like a 2-layer vegetable garden, step vegetable garden. and no one would eat the vegetables.
Oh.
I would grow tomatoes and cucumbers, and I did soybeans and everything, and then they would go out and buy stuff.
Oh.
And I'm like, guys,
we have some.
And so I thought,
Yeah.
well, screw you guys. I'll just plant more flowers. So I gave up, and I just have plant flowers here now. I do have some garlic back there.
Oh, that's nice.
But that's easy. That's always low maintenance. But this is, and also with all the plants back here, we get a lot of bees, and a lot of birds.
Yeah. So the story of the house is.
Okay, so here's the story of the house. I lived in Brookline with one of my close friends, my sister wife, I called her. Anyhow, and she moved to Milton and left me. She abandoned me and moved to Milton. And so I promised her that I would never visit her because she was in the sticks. One day I'm driving by on the way to her house. Obviously, I broke that promise. I was on the way to her house, and I drove by and I saw that this was a funeral home. Okay, no big deal, but there was a for sale sign. And I called my sister wife. I'm like, there's a funeral home for sale. She's like, I'll be right there. So she rushed over, and we came, and we walked around, and I'm like, is this insane? I mean, is this insane to buy a funeral home? But the house looked like it was like kind of stopped in time. It just had these just beautiful windows and this big yard. It didn't have much of a garden, but I just thought I didn't want a house that was new. I wanted something that had history. I love walking through spaces and thinking about the people who've experienced the space and how they've enjoyed it and what they thought and their dreams and what happened in these spaces. And that's why I love old homes. I would have never bought like a new townhouse or a new condo. That would have never happened. And so we called a real estate agent who met us that same day and gave us a tour of the house. And it was a funeral home with a parlor, and but inside the house is this beautiful stair that goes up to the 3rd floor, and it's just intact, and it's wood, and it's carved, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of wallpaper and a lot of that burgundy-ish color rug that's everywhere. But the house itself just kind of on the upper floors that wasn't the funeral home just kind of stopped in time. And I love that. And I thought, I'm going to put an offer in this house. So I forged my husband's signature, and because he was out of town, and I wanted to put an offer, and I'm like, I saw this house. He's like, what? Anyway, so I signed his name, and we made an offer in the house. Yes, he actually didn't see the interior of the house until the closing.
Thank God you're an interior designer.
Thank God. He trusts me. Yeah, it could have been, he did drive by, but he actually never saw the interior of the house until we signed.
That's amazing.
To the closing, yeah.
I love that story.
So, it's a funny house because it's been a funeral home for so many years that even my sister wife who lives in Milton, she grew up not very far from here, and she said everyone came here. Everyone came to this funeral. Of course, she's a church. So you went to the church there, and you came here for funeral. So you got baptized, and you got sent off here. I mean, so much so that people still refer it as, if someone says, where do you live? I go, Kennedy Funeral Home. They're like, oh yeah, you're the one that bought the home. So that's kind of the history of the home.
It's amazing. I cannot wait to share more.
It's a lot of work. It was a lot of work to kind of bring it back into a home.
Totally.
Yeah, but
because you would never know. You can see little remnants of, like you said, you took this part out. This entire entry?
There was no backyard.
Yeah.
There was a cinder block addition. There was a ramp over there that went into the house, and this whole backyard, all the way up to that arch window there.
Yep.
And all the way over, and then to where the end of the gate is. That was actually a cinder block addition that is at least 2 stories, 2nd floor tall.
Wow.
And it was ugly, because it was just basically used to kind of bring the bodies in. Yes, bodies.
Oh, yeah.
They come this way to get the bodies dressed and then bring it into the house for the viewing.
It's crazy.
It was kind of crazy. So the first thing that had to go was this part.
Yes.
So we demoed this part, and it was nothing but rocks and rubble.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I mean, we're talking lots of rocks, and and I kind of looked at it and thought, what are we gonna do? How? And so I actually bought, the first plant I bought is this wisteria here, that you
Oh,
see.
right above us. It's
Yes.
beautiful.
And the poor thing sat in a pot for like another year because we didn't know, it was a lot of work to get the yard in order.
Oh, totally.
So we didn't do anything, so it sat there for a year. But I had a vision in mind.
Yes.
And I knew it started with its wisteria.
It's amazing. I just love that it was a funeral home. I'm a big energy person and things creep me out easily, but I don't, like, this place has amazing energy.
It does.
It's just beautiful.
I spent. I was measuring the house right before we bought it because the plans with the estate agent didn't jive. So I was in the house, and it was a thunderstorm.
Oh,
There was no electricity in the house, so it was me in the house with a measuring tape going from room to room to room.
Yeah.
And I thought, if something's going to happen, this is the time it's going to happen. I was in the house for myself.
You're right.
I was in the house for like 2 or 3 hours, opening every single closet, measuring everything, and documenting the entire house so I can come up with a plan of action. But I have felt so at ease in this house.
yeah.
And
I love that.
I haven't seen a single ghost. I've been looking.
That's amazing. Well, you bring such bright energy to every
Thanks.
space you're in.
Yeah.
And when I came today, you said you just finished your garden. You think you're
I think I've maxed out.
fully complete.
I think I'm complete, and it's rare that it's happened, and
Wow.
especially this early in the summer, because I start thinking about my garden. Like, I sit in the kitchen and I look out and I plan it in my head, what needs to be moved, because some things need to be moved. I have a very good friend who's a landscaper, and his mother would always move plants around, and I thought, he said, never feel it. You don't have to feel like you're committed to like that spot. If it's not working in that spot, dig it up, move it.
Love.
And so things sometimes get moved because they weren't doing very well the season before.
Yeah.
And so I start early, January, February, and this year I went full on, like full on. I mean, I planted everything, I moved things, I cleaned up, I seeded. It was insane amount of work.
It's a lot of work. A lot of labor.
I mulched. We were done, and so now I think I'm done. I think I just get to enjoy it now.
That's really
Occasionally,
nice.
I guess I'll go out and I'll pull some weeds. Weed pulling is fun. I'll pull some weeds, but I think I'm just gonna relax and enjoy it.
It's a good way to start and end the summer. Well, thank you again.